Hey, how you doing? My name is Duran Peebles, and I'm here to help you overcome sellers' objectives. Okay, this is Sales Bowl, and this is where sellers become champions through kingdom mindset. Okay, so this video will be specifically about helping you overcome any buyer's objectives. There's a lot of objectives that come up when sales and buying is going on. You know, a lot of people want to know, how can you solve their problem? Are you really there to help? Do you have seller's breath? And if you got seller's breath, people can smell it a mile away. Seller's breath is somebody that's super desperate for the sale. They want to push the sale onto the people because they got their interests at hand more than they got the buyer's interest. And what I mean by that, people want to get the sale so bad. They so urgent to get the sale. They so, I gotta have a sale, gotta have a sale. That way they can get some money off of it instead of looking at the buyer for what do the buyer need, what problem need to be solved. Okay, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna start off with this right here. We're gonna start off with a term called care. Okay, C-A-R-E. Okay, and this is clarify the buyer's real problem. Okay, and then acknowledge L-E-D-G-E, acknowledge emotion. Okay, emotion. Acknowledge emotions behind. Okay, the problem. Okay, and then recommend. Sorry, excuse the handwriting. Recommend the right solution. Okay, honestly. Okay, and then last but not least, ensure long term success. Long-term success after the sale. Okay. So, C, clarify the buyer's real problem. A, acknowledge emotions behind the problem. R is recommend the right solution honestly. And E, ensuring long-term success after the sale. Care. You want to use that. You want to use that every single time you make a sale. You want to make sure, okay, you want to make sure that you got the buyer's interest at hand more than your own. So let's say if you only had $200 left in the bank account and you know you had a product that you could sell for $300. You really need that sale. You really need that sale to come through, right? To get that extra money, right? But do not have seller's breath, because a buyer can smell it a mile away and you're going to sound super, super desperate. Okay. I don't care if you even typing it. I don't care if you messaging someone. I don't care if you cold calling someone. I don't care if you writing stuff on your website. Buyers can smell convincing sales from a mile away. It's called seller's breath. Look it up. Okay. Now, how we want to approach this thing is, I'm gonna break it down. We're gonna clarify the buyer's real problem. So, how we gonna do this? How we gonna clarify the buyer's real problem? And we're gonna do that through asking a lot of questions. Okay. If somebody was at a car lot buying a car, first thing we're gonna ask them, hey, what brings you in today? Hey man, yeah, I'm here just looking for a new car, cause the car that I have got a lot of mileage on it and it's starting to break down a lot. And I'm just thinking it's starting to be a little unsafe for the family, right? Okay, cool. Okay, so are you looking for something to get you back and forth to work? Or are you looking for something to take vacations on? Are you looking for something you and the wife go out on dinner dates? You want to constantly keep asking questions, okay? And if the buyer's like, well, I don't know, let me just take a look around and I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, great. Hey, if you need me, I'm right over here. And let them go on about their day, right? Now, that's pulling back. That's saying, hey, man, I don't really need this sale. I'm going to make sure you get exactly what you need when you need it, right? I don't have to be pushy. Now, a pushy salesman, well, I know you said that you want to just look around, but let's go look at this car over here, because this new BMW is great mileage, man. It don't break down really. Let's just go over here and take a look at it. Nah, man, just come on over here and just look at it for a second. He's being pushy, right? Okay. Now, the A is for acknowledging emotions behind the problem. Okay. Now, what does that mean? We want to acknowledge the emotions on pain points. We want to sit there and sympathize with the buyer, right? Let's say if they was losing hair, hey man, I know it's tough, being where you not, you don't want to go out in public, without a hat on. I understand, because I had hair loss before. So I get it. Like, I really do get it. So I got the best solution. I just created a hair cream that's going to take that problem away. You're going to have your hair back in at least 90 days. Okay. That's when it's going to start back growing. You got to make sure you keep up the treatment, but I get it. I understand your pain. Okay. So we want to acknowledge the pain behind the problem. Or let's say if somebody bought a new Jeep and the Jeep kept breaking down, he bring it back to the car lot. Now he's upset because he just spent all this down payment money on a Jeep that he was thinking was supposed to be good and riding, like dependable, safe. The Jeep cut off on the highway. Now he's upset because his wife was driving. She could have been in a serious car crash, right? So you got to acknowledge that. Hey, I'm so sorry that happened. And if they come in mad and upset, just sympathize with them. I get it. Like, I totally get it. That was definitely unacceptable. I don't know why this car cut off. I don't know what happened, but I promise you, we will definitely make it right. Okay. That's a great seller. Okay. Instead of someone, look, I don't know why it cut off. You taking that out on me. Ain't no reason to have the same attitude as a upset customer, because that just makes them more upset. So we got to calm them down by bringing in good energy, right? If somebody wanted a refund from a product, let's say if you were selling TVs, they bought the TV don't work. They call you on the phone. Hey man, I just bought this TV for $800. Get it back to the house. Thing don't even come on. Why is it? You told me this TV was going to work. It was going to be beautiful when it came on. Now, the best way to handle that, I tell you what, I'm going to give you a partial refund and I'm gonna make sure you get a TV that's gonna work for the rest of the year, right? I'm gonna take care of you. Trust me, right? That's acknowledging the emotions behind the pain, because the more emotion you put in with them, the more emotion they're gonna give you back, right? So we want to take the time to relax them, calm them down, and show them we care. Okay. Now, recommend the right solution honestly. Okay. Now, let's say if you didn't have the right solution, right? Let's say if you was out of a product that they needed, or your product didn't even solve your product, you didn't have a solution to their product. It didn't solve their problem. So what we can do, this is going to be a report too. We will recommend them to the right solution, honestly, right? We will recommend them to a whole nother seller, right? We will make sure that they get into the right hands. Hey, I got the best person. Let's say if they was selling weave, right? I don't have the right weave in that you looking for, but I know the place it does. Prices is great, customer service is great. I wouldn't recommend you to them if I didn't vouch for them, right? And they're gonna make sure you're taken care of. Just tell them I sent you. Now you just recommend them to the right solution, honestly. Or let's say their car broke down, they need a good mechanic to go to. Your mechanic is out of town. You don't got no mechanic for them to go to. You know what? I got a great Latino friend. He fixed cars in a heartbeat. He makes sure he don't try to keep your car overnight. He have it fixed in a couple hours. He's a great gentleman. I wouldn't recommend you if I didn't go to him myself. Right now, you just honestly recommended them to the right solution to their problem. Okay. Now, ensure long-term success after the sale. So what this means, a lot of people is transactional instead of transform. Let me get the word right. Transformational, right? A lot of people is transactional instead of having a transformation after they buy, right? Now, so many sellers will take the time to only think about the transaction, and that's called seller's breath. Buyers can smell it a mile away. You're pushy. You really wanting to sell. You really you begging them to buy it just because you selling it. It don't make sense. So we want to assure them long-term success after the sale. This right here is key. Okay. This is key. This shows people that you really care. Okay. This shows people that you got a heart. This shows people that you serious about your craft. You really serious about your business and your company. This shows them you can build rapport with them, and you can build a relationship. So long-term success after the sale means they're confident that if something do go wrong, you're going to take care of them. If everything go right, your word was true. It was bond, right? If something happens in the middle of them getting the product or service, they're going to be well taken care of because they got it from you, right? This is what every single customer look for. Ensure long-term success after the sale. They want to make sure they don't have buyer's remorse, right? Buyer's remorse, they will really feel like, man, I shouldn't even spent that money. I shouldn't have spent the money today on this product or this service that I got pushed into. That's what you don't want. You don't want to have a buyer to have buyer's remorse, right? So how we can make sure they don't have buyer's remorse? We will guarantee that ask the right questions at the right time, so they will be sure that they getting the right solution to their problem through you, because you took the time to show them you care about them by asking the right questions, by showing them clarity, by showing them you acknowledge them, You can recommend them if needed, and you're insuring them. So this is the part that takes a great this is the part that separates a great salesman from a bad salesman. Okay. Everything in this world is about sales. If when you walk out your door, you being sold to indoor and outdoor. The phone that you use, you were sold to. The car that you drive, you were sold to. The books that you read, you were sold to. The house that you live in, you were sold to. Everything is about sales within our world. Okay. When you walk outside, you going through funnels, you going through marketing, you going through ads, you going through seller's breath, you going through the whole nine when you walk out that door and when you indoors. Okay. So you want to master sales. You want to master it. Okay. Because this is the bridge between success and failure. But like my wife said, when you lose, you learn. So when you lose, you learn. That equals a win. Okay. I got that from my wife. Very smart lady. So we don't never lose. We just learn. So anytime you think you losing or you think you ain't making it, I want you to remember this. Okay. God created you in his image. And what that mean is, if you say you want to make this, let's say if you want to make this year in sales. Okay. Let's say if you wanted to make $1 million in sales. What's stopping you? Okay. What's stopping you from making $1 million? Only thing that can stop you from making that is you and your belief system. But I believe in you, and I'm going to tell you why. Because God created you in his image. And his first command to man was be fruitful and multiply. So this is what you want to make, and this is how you're going to make it. Now, okay, we're gonna say this is an apple tree. Okay. Now, that apple tree started. I'm gonna say that's a seed. Okay. You are the seed. You had to grow down in the ground and root. You root it first before you can come up through that soil. And then when you came up through that soil, that's when you started to grow branches, right? Excuse me, I can't draw worth nothing, so just excuse that. But you get what I'm saying, okay? So you had to root first. Then you had to come up through the soil, and then the sun had to shine on you for you to grow, right? Now, let's say if these was apples on the trees, right? Every time that apple, somebody come along and want one of them apples, they eat the apple, and then the seeds come out, and that's your seeds. Now them seeds are more apple trees. Now, with that being said, be fruitful and multiply. So God created you as a seed, right? You are a seed. We are seeds. So what this means is, when you give somebody something, they will take it and use it, and it helped them, right? God put so much creative ability in all of us. So all we got to do is keep producing, because the apple tree produce for others. It don't produce for itself. So long as this apple tree produce for itself, for others, it will never, ever produce for itself. An apple do not grow apples to eat the apples. It grow apples to supply other people. Okay. Other people, he bow-legged. Let's fix his legs. He was bow-legged in one leg. He the strongest one in the bunch. Okay. So they gonna eat the apples, and when they do, the seeds will get exposed, go back down in the ground, and create more apple trees. Okay. Now, with this being said, be fruitful and multiply. Every time you create, you help people, you help people, you help people, you help people, you help people. They help people, they help people, they help you help people, right? We was designed to help. So I want you to know, I am of value to you. I want to help you take your business to the next level. I want to help you master sales. I've been selling stuff since I was 8 years old. I haven't came across nothing yet that I cannot sell. Okay. I want you to know that you have me on your side. But the best thing, you got God right there with you, right? And so many other people that's willing to help you. But this is the kicker. You got to believe in yourself. So if you know you're going to make this right here, right? You got to come up with a plan on how to make that. And God going to give you everything you need. You already got everything you need. If you woke up this morning, you got out the bed, you got air in your lungs, your hands, everything function. You got everything you need. Okay. You got everything you need. Now, God is good. Let's go ahead and put that up there. Okay. So I ain't gonna make this video too long, but I just want you to know, always show people you care and watch how your sales. I keep looking at my mic. I don't want it to die while I'm talking. Always know that you were made in God's image, and the sales that you want to make and the relationships you want to create is just a step away from you doing the work. That's it. Okay. King Solomon was one of the richest men in the Bible. And he said, what we learn and what we know, we must teach others. Okay. We got to be teachers of others, and we got to be able to help others. And what you create, your product and service, create it with the thought of somebody else. Create it with a thought of them on your mind, instead of just, I'm going to create a book. I'm going to write this book, and I'm going to come on out of there. Hold on. I'm going to write this book, and I'm going to write this book to make me some money. I'm going to write 300 pages just to make me some money. No, that ain't how sales go. So what you want to do is write that book to help hundreds of thousands of people. Okay. And next video, we're going to talk about continuity. And continuity is where you really want to be at to scale. Okay. So I'm going to break that down, continuity, in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Again, my name is Duran Peoples. Thank you for tuning in to Sales Bowl. And this is where sellers become champions through Kingdom Mindset. I want to see you win, and you will win. Okay. All right. See you later. Catch you on the next one. Peace. God bless.